All right, so I was asked to help with utilizing the MCP servers within Antigravity. So what I have pulled up is a blank Antigravity instance with a folder to Antigravity testing. As you can see on the left side, there's no folders here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start by just creating a quick HTML web page that's an Antigravity MCP guide using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, just so we have some files in our code base. So it's not extremely complicated web page. The other thing that we're going to utilize is going to be Firebase, and we're going to use that for the hosting. But you can also use Hostinger or Vercel or any other one. I just like using Firebase because it's just about free, minimal cost there. All right, so we created this Antigravity site just so we have something that we can host, and this is what it came up with. Pretty cool. It's got some animation to it. It's obviously a little off, so we have to do some playing with it. But for just pushing up to GitHub, which is where we're going to store our code, it's not necessary, but it helps with versioning and just keeping your code nice and clean. So we will push this up to GitHub. So we have about section, we have tools, protocol, connect. I don't know where connect goes, but it doesn't go anywhere. So that's our simple web page that we're going to push to GitHub. So the first thing that we need to do is open up our GitHub. So we have our GitHub repo. We created Antigravity test in our GitHub, and we just need this GitHub URL. We're going to copy that. We're going to go back to Antigravity, and in our comment section, we're just going to say, please push this code base to the following GitHub repo. All right. And because I'm using the free Windows version, I got to do some additional editing. But now we're going to push this to our GitHub repo. If you're not already connected, it's going to ask you for some connections, launch a browser, and then you'll get logged in. If not, if you're already connected, like I'm already connected to GitHub, then it will just automatically push the information to our repo once it's done. All right. So again, this isn't 100% necessary. It does help maintain the code though, because it gives you version history, things like that. You have your main branch, and then you can do some others, which maybe I'll create a video on at a later point in time, but there's a million out there that you can watch as well. So now the full repository is synced. And so what we'll do is we'll come here and we'll just refresh. This should take us back to, so now we're in our repo, and we have our code, which is the same from our Antigravity code base with the README file, same information. All right, so now we have our information in GitHub. We will go back to our Antigravity, and now we're going to look at our MCP service, right? So we have our code base. We pushed our code to our GitHub repo. So now if our machine dies or we lose the drive, whatever happens, we still have a version of our code in the cloud. Now what we're going to do is use the MCP servers. So in the top right corner, you'll click these three dots, MCP servers. And so natively, these are all the ones built into Antigravity. I like Firebase because it's Antigravity is a Google product. Firebase is a Google product. Inherently, they work very well together. You can use others. You can use Heroku. You can use any other one that you desire. You would just have to go to manage MCP servers, and then you have to edit the raw config file. So let's get rid of that. So you have to just manipulate your config file to have that in there. But because we are going to use Firebase, that's already installed, we're going to go back. And now, let's tell, we're going to change this from fast to planning, and let Gemini Flash know we want to create a Firebase project and host our code base and host our web app there, please. And we're going to say go. And so now you should see it's going to start to pull in the MCP server. So see, there we go. We're looking at the checking Firebase environment, MCP, Firebase MCP server, show the details, project directory, blah, blah, blah. Get the information. We're going to update the environment, which means going to add in some Firebase.json, things like that. So once we told that, because we put in planning, it gave us a task and implementation plan. We're open to the task view. Here's all the tasks. Check Firebase, create plan, Firebase setup, workspace config, deployment. All right, so we go to implementation plan. Here's the implementation plan. We are going to say proceed. And that is going to then kick off and go through the implementation plan and check off all of our task list. So if I go back to task, you see checked off, we're going down the list. Firebase login, it's going to log into the Firebase instance. If you're not logged in, just like the GitHub, it'll launch and ask you to log in. And so for some reason that one failed. So it had issues with my login. So it actually logged me out and then logged me back in. And let's continue on. So there's not much that you actually need to know. It's more about knowing what's available to you. And that's why the MCP servers are great to just know about. Again, you don't even really know how to utilize all of it. You just need to know the basics to get it going. There are times where it looks like I think it's waiting on this answer here. So we're just going to hit yes. And so it wants me to sign in. So that's what we got to do. We're going to open that. I'm going to sign in. Continue. Allow. Yes, I just ran this. Copy this. Yes, this is my session code. Copy this. Close this. Minimize this. Paste that code here. Go. And now it's successfully logged in. Now we should continue on with the process. So it's just a hurry up and wait game. We'll collapse all. We're done here. I didn't do anything. We did all that. I'm not patient, so I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to say, please try again. It likely would have completed, but again, I'm just not patient. Apparently, I want us to do it again, so we'll just go through the process again. Continue. Password. Go. It's probably already going because we did it once already. Yes, I ran this. Yes, copy, close, minimize. Yeah, so did all that for no reason. It just went on about it. But now, again, I'll unload that code again. I like to have the MCP server off. It's probably my problem. No, it is on. Cyber enabled. GitHub is not enabled. That's okay. So we're fine there. Looks like we're good there. Back to agent. Firebase project. Oh, so look, there we go. So I created the Antigravity MCP guide. Display name Antigravity MCP. Creating Google Cloud project. Adding Firebase resources. So here in a second, I will have a URL that we can launch. And we're just waiting. Now we have a URL here. So we have a URL up there to give it to us again. Hosting URL. We launch this. Launch to a dead app. I'm sure it's testing. Yeah, so launch the Playwright MCP server. Notice that it was a dead web page. So now it's going to go through the fixing. And now we're just waiting. This is usually where I'm off on another project doing something else, but since we're doing a video, we're just going to sit here and walk through it with it. So it looks like it made some updates to the HTML file. Now it's redeploying the file. And so now we have a new link to launch it. Still broken. Hey, there we go. So you see the URL. We do have the web app, but it did have a pen and had a version to it. So let's see what it says here. Blah, blah, blah. Antigravity has been successfully deployed to Firebase Hosting. Access it here. Launch that. There we go. So it came up. It's launched. All of that just really talking with AI using Antigravity and the available MCP servers. So again, just to rehash what we did here, we used our Antigravity IDE. We created our web page. We used the MCP servers to get our code to our GitHub repo, which is somewhere. We have a GitHub repo, and then we also used the